Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Horror Flick Chicks podcast. Sonia, Sandra, and Angie, and we are here. We are discussing Only Murders in the Building, season 5, episode 7. It
Silver
is it
alert.
is called Silver Alert.
I
Wow.
I you know I get those alerts on my phone, silver alerts. I
I
feel
was
like
just
Silver
gonna say,
I
is
feel
that a real thing? A silver
it is. It
alert?
is a real thing. In New York City, they call it silver alerts when a lot of times elderly people with dementia usually leave their homes
they
when they're not
wander off.
supposed
Yeah.
to. They
Right.
wander off. So they call them silver alerts. And
I
for a
didn't realize
while,
that.
while I was a city worker, I was getting the push notifications whenever this happened. And honestly, it would happen very often. Um, and it's sad. It's really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
I
half the
know.
time, I'm like, because honestly, if you were anywhere and you saw an older like if you see a kid, you'll put two and two together, especially if the
If they
timing
by
isn't right, if they're
themselves
by
or they
themselves. But like when it's an elderly person, you'll just walk right past them because you'll just think that they're like, going
right.
about their
They're an
business.
adult and they're walking, just walking, taking a walk or
So
whatever. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
anyway, silver
That's
alert.
yeah, that's a good idea. I honestly didn't know that was a real thing.
Me
And
either.
but I feel like I see news reports and things online about, have you seen this person? They were here, last night and then we haven't
Yeah.
Right.
seen them and they have dementia or they have this and whatever. And but I never get like an alert. Like how you
Yeah.
get the Amber Alerts on the phone?
Yeah.
I don't ever really get it for
I
that. So,
eventually I had to change the way I received notifications because it was happening so much.
I think it does happen a lot. Yeah, I just
And and I've just felt so bad. With with kids, they even if you change your notifications, I guess they can change them,
oh, that you still get
but
them.
they'll
It still
still
comes
get them
through.
because it's a kid, you know.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, you get those so silver alert, and it was for
Okay.
our dear Oliver.
I know. I know. Well,
That's
we
how
got
it starts off. Yeah.
yeah, so it was a kind of a fast forward that we saw in the
Yeah.
beginning. But first thing I want to mention is that Mayor Tillman's back. I always felt like he's going to be a major part in
So
this
did I.
season
Yep.
from the beginning.
Yep.
We're
And
on
he's
to you, Mayor Tillman.
and he's back and he's been dying to get on the podcast from
Hmm.
since the beginning of the season, and now he has his opportunity. And now, Charles Mabel and Oliver are in this kind of predicament where they signed this contract with the Wonderfy company, and it's a podcast company, and the billionaires are owners,
Like majority, like
majority
shareholders.
stakeholders, and now because they have implied that they may be suspects in this current murder mystery, part of the contract for this podcast company is that you cannot speak on three billionaires. You cannot talk
On
about
the
them
on the on the owners of the
because they're the owners, right? You can't speak on the owners, which happen to be the billionaires,
right.
and which happen to be suspects of theirs.
Like they're top suspects,
And
really.
yeah, and they can't talk about them. So now they have to figure out something else because they're in this contract. They do have to make episodes, right?
Right.
So they have to figure out what kind of content they're gonna do. And it looks like they're gonna interview Mayor Tillman for one of the episodes. But as soon as Mayor Tillman gets there and he figures out that in through conversation he figures out that Bashsteed is one of the suspects, he decides to blurt out and say, "Yeah,
Well,
that's the guy."
he sends first. The first thing he does
Well,
before
yes, I
that,
know.
he sends his assistant to go get
Right,
him coffee. To go
right,
get me coffee from that coffee spot on like 70 something street. I say,
right.
okay, if he leaves. And as soon as she leaves, he says, he's the murderer.
He tells them he's got to be the murderer,
Yes.
and then he goes on telling them about how he's associated with him, how his assistant is Bash's niece, and that he hired her to kind of keep an eye out on the mayor,
Yeah.
And ever since they got entangled with him, he's been
And the
kind of,
mayor and the mayor contributed a lot of money to his campaign
yes,
to
yes.
help him
And
get elected.
This
Bash
all sounds
contributed,
very familiar.
Bash
It's perfectly,
corruption in
it's
politics.
perfect
Nothing
corruption.
new.
Nothing,
We've never seen
nothing
that
to
before.
see here. Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah, he's he's all entangled. Like Bash is entangled kind of in the mayor's life, right?
Yeah.
He has the niece as the assistant. He paid a lot of
Entanglement.
money into his campaign, which means that mayor is kind of indebted to him and owes him stuff. Like whenever he
Right.
asks, he has to be provide. And he's just kind of seems to be a thorn in his side for the longest time. He's trying to figure out a way to disconnect from him, and he
Yeah.
feels like this is the way. Now that they think he's a suspect, this is his way of trying to, you know. I think so. Part of me, I'm not sure if he's honestly telling the truth or not. I feel like it is a possibility that it's true that Bash is connected with him because he paid, a lot of money into his campaign and all that stuff, and he's probably on his back all the time, and he does want to get rid of him. But I don't know if he necessarily believes that he's a murderer. He just trying to figure out a way to pin it on him so he can go away and he
So
doesn't have anything to
yeah.
do with him, right? What do you guys think about that?
Well, I kind of I semi agree with you. I feel like he's just so tired of Bash being in his life and being like having to always look behind, across his shoulder and like be on his best behavior because he's being watched
Hmm.
on the outside and stuff from Bash and whoever he has around, but also on the inside because his niece is his assistant. Bash's niece is the assistant, so she's there, and anything that he might blurt out or remotely make an inkling about him, it might get back to him and it might jeopardize his because he's been not hinting, but he's been saying talking about things for his election, so it looks like he's up for re-election.
Yeah,
So
he is.
Yeah.
anything that goes against his feelings against Bash might hurt him, so he has to be like extra careful.
Yeah.
And you know yeah, it's a definitely a difficult position that he's in. So yeah, I do agree that I don't know. I don't think that he like knows for sure if he's like the number one suspect or the murderer or whatever.
Mhm.
But I feel like he knows enough that he says, well, he has something to do with it. I'm
Yeah.
sure he has something. He if he
Yeah,
didn't,
yeah,
he
yeah.
has something to do with it.
I definitely think that he has something to do with it. I don't personally believe that either of them, the three of them, are the actual killers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure about
I'm
that
kind of
yet
not
either.
convinced,
Yeah.
but I think that they do know something. That they're not saying. They're being very secretive.
Hmm.
They're doing all this weird kind of eccentric stuff that
Yeah.
makes you think that
And
they
they're
might
sticking
be
together.
involved, but
They're
and
sticking
they're always,
together.
yeah, the story that's are like meshing with each other. They're always together. That it's very strange. I don't understand that.
I think it's a combination of like I think first of all, is it Camilla? Renee's
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah.
Camilla is very suspicious. I
Yeah.
don't like the way she was talking to Oliver when speaking of balls. Well,
Who's speaking of balls? We were speaking about balls.
this is why we have to record before the recordings,
And
guys,
plead the
because
fifth.
now they're going to make it seem like we weren't talking about balls before we
We
started.
were talking about balls.
However, speaking about balls, Camilla mentions like cutting off his balls because like she got a little bit
Right.
upset over him like not mentioning that she is helping him basically
Like
sell his
redecorate
apartment.
the
Yeah,
yeah.
redecorate that now it's like worth something
Yeah.
because of
Because she put her touch on
Yeah,
it.
camel
well, she
tone,
did. Yeah.
camel tone tassels or some shit. So like, I don't, I
Yeah,
just like,
camel tone. And he went, and
it was just
he
very,
said,
it
I
was
said
a
camel
little,
toned.
it was a little harsh, I thought. Like, I'm like, where did that come from?
I know.
She's a little like a little violent. And I have a
Yeah.
feeling it seems like she's a little violent. And we know it's true because towards the end of I don't want to skip ahead, but towards the end, she really wanted to get her way and pulled out a handgun on
Yeah.
Yeah.
guys. So
Yeah.
I really think that while everybody is suspicious, like the billionaires are suspicious, there has to be something where one knows something about the other, and then one has something on the other,
It's
and
possible.
everybody is trying to like cover up their own shit.
Well,
Yeah.
right.
I think that's really what it
Yeah,
is.
that's a,
That could definitely be it.
And I knew that I actually had thought that it was Camilla who put
the
the
bid on the
the
apartment.
bid on the apartment.
Oh,
I
I
figured it
didn't.
was her.
No, I
I
didn't think
did
about that,
figure
you
it
know.
was her. I didn't really mention it, but I did think it was her. Um yeah, so we find out later. I don't know, we want to skip ahead to this, but we do find out later that she's the one who's
Yeah,
putting
it's like
bids
at
on
the end.
apartments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's towards the end, but I mean, I still think that you know, like you get the sense of that during that conversation. And I think she like it just felt that way to me when she was touring his apartment. Like she was kind of,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
this? Like
If you think
it,
back, then yeah, I could totally see it. But I think in that moment, I was thinking, well, she is in real estate, so it kind of makes sense that she's kind of walking around and
Yeah.
looking at things, the architecture and things like that. So that made kind of sense when I was watching that episode.
yeah.
But yeah, now looking back, you could totally feel like, why did she redecorate that room in 5 minutes?
Right.
Does she, you know,
Right.
she's trying to like get it to look a certain way because she wants to buy, so I could totally see that. They what about the that whole that creepy kid in front of Bash's house?
Oh my God.
His kid, that's his
That's
son,
his kid,
Algie.
Algae.
Algie.
And then he was like, "Oh my God, there's algae in the
Algie in the
pool."
pool.
And the pool is completely empty and it's just
And
that
then he's just
He's just
standing there.
standing there.
like you're like, "Oh shit, the kid's name is Algae."
He looked like a
Like
one
a
of like
1930s ghost.
yeah, like a Children of the Damned.
Totally. And what was the thing that Charlie said to oh no, Oliver said to him?
Oliver said something like, is your or Mabel, I think, is your grandfather or your father home?" And then Charles said, "Or your son," because this could be
Yeah.
like a twisted horror movie.
Exactly. And then Oliver was just like,
That was funny.
He
well,
didn't
he's
want to
like,
go.
should I
Well,
be
we
He didn't
scared
want
of
to go.
you?
so we should say that once we find out all this stuff with Mayor Tillman about Bash,
Yeah.
he said overheard him talking about like a meeting with his
Yeah,
rich friends and stuff at his mansion like in the middle of nowhere and whatever. So maybe you could go there and you could find things out. So he wrote down an address to give them, and they were off to Connecticut into this like the middle of nowhere place where they have like no phone reception, anything. Oliver was so against it. He was like, "I'm not going. This is like a horror movie waiting to happen." It's like, "I'm not doing it." I just want
yeah.
to say that I hope they never cancel this show. I love this show so much. It's so clever and funny.
I
I know.
know.
Like everything. I
I know. I
anyway.
know. And I have to say that even the thought of Oliver selling his apartment means that he would be one less tenant
Right.
in the
know.
only murders
Right.
building. And like
How would
it's
that work
it's
if it
starting
goes
to make
on?
me feel like the writers are planning to end the show
Right.
or this is obviously just a trick because it better
Well,
be just a trick.
they did a few seasons ago. There was an incident where Mabel
Maybe it was
lost her apartment
Yeah.
and things. So
Yep.
and she was able to get back in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe once everything, since we already know that Camilla was the one that made the offer, and it seems like she made a lot of offers because she's trying to buy the Arconia.
Right.
I can totally see if she's part of this whole thing that she gets caught and taken away, and then that bid is kind of like
Like
no,
canceled.
and it won't happen,
Right.
and he's just gonna have to stay there. That's the only thing
Right.
I can. If they're gonna continue with this series, I can
Right.
see something like that happening. But
Well,
yeah,
they go they so once the crew gets to the Connecticut house and like encounter this like ghostly kid, they
I like how he goes. I like your skin. I was like,
yeah,
what?
it's like, oh,
What are you
Oliver
doing?
was like, okay.
Uh,
Anyway, so they go into the house and they kind of sneak up on them. They're doing something. It looks like they're doing some kind of like experiment or something, but they're playing Operation, like the game Operation. I thought that was I was after a certain thing when they were picking things, I was like,
I was
playing
thinking that too. They're
Operation.
playing. I think they're playing Operation.
I thought
I
that
was
was
thinking
pretty
that
funny.
That
too.
was hilarious.
I thought that was pretty funny. And then so we find out that they so last episode before this one, when Oliver and Loretta were in Flatbush, um they ran into somebody on the street. So if you're from
Yeah,
New York City, you've likely run into these people that do like have clipboards and they want you to sign petitions for certain things on the street. And there was this one guy that ran up on them and asked them about to sign this petition to stop like a build of New York City's first casino.
right.
So they mentioned that a little bit in the last episode. We find out in this episode that all three of the billionaires have bids for the casino. And the way they like to kind of decide who's going to get the bid is they play games and their games are like board games. So that's how they do it and they said one of them said and it makes it fun or whatever. That's so whoever they play a bunch of games and whoever wins gets the actual bid for the games. Um
It's so strange. They're so strange. There's something up with this group. I
yeah.
don't
Well
know what it is.
they have this trophy that supposedly they win when they get the games, when they win the games, whatever. Um, and after a while, Oliver's like, I'm out of here. I'm not dealing with this. I have somebody to lose. She's like, sorry guys, I have somebody to lose, not you, because he has Loretta. It's like I'm leaving, and he goes off in the woods in his best little whorehouse in Texas boots. And he walks out.
I love by the way, he's just like, I mean, Martin Short is just
I know.
perfection. As he's like, as he's like telling them this and he leaves, you see him like in the woods a little bit later trying to find his way out of these woods.
Yeah.
And he's like singing to himself. Like his character just is always so like, happy
I
go
know.
lucky, always
Like whimsical and
whimsical. Yeah, I love it.
dreamy. It's
I
like,
love it.
Well,
yeah.
I also want to say something else I thought was really funny with Oliver this episode. In the beginning when they were talking with Mayor Tillman and in the apartment you know about Mayor Tillman was mentioning something about, uh, you know somebody donates all this money to your campaign and then later on you realize or they tell you that like basically you owe them now because
Yeah.
you whatever. And Oliver's like, I know all about this. He's like, and he mentioned about
Robert Blake.
he said yes. Well,
He's like
Robert,
Robert
he's
Blake
like
once
Robert
made
Blake.
me
It's like
buy for him.
not to go too much into it, but I lied on the oath for him. I'm like, what?
Bro,
Beretta killed his wife.
bro, the writers are
It's
Yeah.
hilarious. And
that's what
only Martin Short can like slip that in
that's
very
why I was
quickly.
like,
It was
you
a
have to
real
be
subtle kind of
yeah, you
Totally.
have to be
line, but
someone of like a certain age, I feel, and or know of like history of like kind of like
like pop culture
the pop
TV,
culture stuff like
like
that to like get
get
it. 'Cause
some of the stuff.
I
If
thought
you
that
don't
was
know about Robert Blake, watch Jinx.
well,
Makes sense.
Maria, he killed his wife.
Yeah.
Watch he I thought that was hilarious. That whole thing. I was like cracking up by myself here.
Yeah.
Oh, he is so
Oh, I
funny.
thought it was so funny. Anyway,
And then the way he like just he just always kind of
casually just
Like it's
he
like
just
the
name drops. That's like his thing. He
yes.
just name
Well, because
drops.
of
And in fact, it came in handy when they when Mabel and Charlie were playing the game with the billionaires.
yes,
Unfortunately for them, at first they were like, "Oh, we're shit out of luck,"
right.
because their topic was Broadway, and they were like, "The only person that knows most about Broadway just left."
I know.
And
Well,
they
they
were,
so they did have that trophy that they said they play for and they win this trophy. And at some point, Mabel picked up the trophy and told and said, like, you guys are millionaires and stuff, and you're playing for this trophy. Like, this is like a what is it, a Walgreens trophy or Rite
Something,
Aid trophy or something
something like
that
that.
whatever,
Party City,
and
Party City.
or
Party
some
City.
Didn't you
some.
get a bunch of those Party City trophies for like one of your Halloween parties for the best costumes? I
No,
feel like.
I bought wine bottles. I don't buy
Oh, never
fake
mind.
trophies. I want wine bottles. I know one of my friends like,
That was probably me for my office. No,
oh, maybe I didn't do that.
I'm cheap.
Anyway, anyway, so Jay
I
jumped up
never
and said,
got, oh, anyway, let's talk about this
"So you
later.
didn't win."
I had some really great
Jay,
costumes. Okay, anyway,
anyway, Jay jumped up and he's like put the trophy down, and they're like, "Huh?" He said, "We just like the trophy, just put it down." And then Mabel realizes there's something with this trophy, and she throws it on she drops and it breaks, and in the base of the trophy was the finger. They stole the finger from Charles's apartment. So they are playing these games to win this trophy that had the finger in it, and they knew it had the finger in it. Now, why do they need that finger?
Why
And
do they
whose
want it?
finger is it? Because we still don't know.
No.
Definitely not Jay's,
Yeah, no. Right.
but we still don't know whose finger it is. They are playing for that finger. Now, I have a theory about that finger, why they
Okay.
want it.
What is it?
Maybe they do know whose finger it is,
I think so.
and it may open some kind of door.
Ooh, the print.
Ooh,
The print.
that makes sense.
Some kind of
Mm.
door or something that has something that they want
Yeah.
or trying to get.
Yeah,
And they're trying to play to win that. So whoever wins
Yeah.
it gets what's behind whatever mysterious door that finger opens. That's my thought.
Mm.
that's
Because why else would you want a
that's
severed
smart.
finger? That finger is like that finger is like I feel like it's like a couple weeks old already. Like that they found it.
Ew. And when it was in the trophy, it wasn't even in ice or
Nice.
it
Yeah,
was
well, that's what I'm saying.
Stanley Steel
Probably,
Cup.
yeah. So
That's
That's
a
what I'm
good idea.
thinking.
Yeah.
So they are trying to play games to win who gets the bid to build the
Mhm. Casino.
casino in New York City, and like Angie mentioned before, we find out later on that Camilla was the one that placed the bid on Oliver's apartment because they want to take they want to buy the Arconia, buy out people in the Arconia so they could build the casino there. So she's definitely like I feel like higher up on the list now because she's being more shady and suspicious in her actions right now with things that she's
Hmm.
doing. But the other billionaires are not off the hook because all of them were trying to get basically that
Yeah.
finger that I think might open something.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
it
That's a
opens,
good
I don't
idea.
know. So that's my thought.
That's
I
very
think it's
possible.
possible that the mayor and Camilla are working together because if you noticed, he only is on to what's his name? Steed?
Bash. Yeah, Steve.
Ash. Yeah. I have a
It
feeling.
could be.
Anyway, that's my new
I
suspicion.
I think the I mean I've been saying it
Every week it
from the
changes.
I know. I've been saying from the beginning that I think the mayor has something to do with this too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean he could be in cahoots with one of them or all of them
I
or
think he is.
He might be
Well,
in
I think
cahoots with
it.
either Camilla or Jay because he can't stand Bash.
Yeah, but that could be fake. He could be just saying that.
Or he could be working with him too.
That's what I mean. It could be fake.
That's true.
Or remember that there's a lot, we had a lot of other suspicious people on our list. So don't forget all of those guys because
Yeah.
it could be one of the wives that
The
are working with
wives,
the
yeah.
mayor and then
And the
this
doorman,
Oh,
and
look
the
Randall.
at the
doorman and it
Randall.
could
Yep.
be, I think it's a combo of people. I
It could
definitely
be.
think it's a combo of people.
It could be.
But yeah.
We'll see.
There's two murders. So,
Yeah. There's
you
two
know,
more they gotta find. Lester and
Nikki.
Nikki. They
So,
gotta
definitely
out.
could be more than one person here. Doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily have to be the same person that did both.
Right.
So
True.
we'll find out soon enough. Like gearing up towards the end of the season already. I can't believe it.
I know.
It's so good, but guys, make sure you keep checking us here on YouTube, our YouTube channel, the Horror Flick Chicks. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, and yeah, balls. And I'm just gonna say balls after every like two sentences. And then make sure you like and subscribe to our channel here, please, and like our videos. And also, we're on social media on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok. And our podcast is also streaming on several audio platforms as well. So wherever you listen to your podcast, you can find us. Balls. And we'll be back next week recapping another episode of Only Murders in the Building. So yeah, if you follow us here on YouTube, you'll see when our new videos pop up. So make sure you're a subscriber, right? And until next time, we're gonna sign out and we're gonna say peace, love, and horror, and balls. Bye.
Uh,
Bye.
That's the end.